Hey guys, it's Jayla. Welcome back. I'm here today to do my update for the hashtag 365 days of eyeshadows. This is a project that, well, it's a challenge that was created by Jessica Lee, and I hopped on middle of the year after I finished my Pan That palette, and my goal is really just to cycle through my eyeshadow palettes. And what I like to do is to have around 4 to 5 eyeshadow palettes, depending on the size that I get randomly chosen for me. 4 of them are randomly chosen, 1 I choose myself. And I totally have not even picked what I'm going to pull in this month. I think I'm going to wait and see what the randomization is. But anyway, I work on 5 eyeshadow palettes over the course of the month. I try to use each one twice. And my goal is to try to use at least 30 different eyeshadows, but that's not a hard and fast rule, or 30 to 31, depending on the days of the month. I also have been rolling in single eyeshadows as well, so I have around 15 single eyeshadows to pick from. So let me share with you the palettes that I was working on last month. So the ones that were randomly chosen for me, and not in this particular order, but the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, the Viseart Theory palette in Cashmere. Well, it's this packaging. The Pat McGrath Mothership 2 Sublime palette. I have all of mine in their box packaging. The Lorac Mega Pro 4 palette. And the one that I selected last month was another Pat McGrath, and this is the Mothership 3 Subversive palette. So let me start with the smaller ones. So let's start with the Viseart Theory palette in Cashmere. So here is the palette. This is really pretty. I think I wore 4 of the shadows once, like these two shimmers and then these 2 mattes one day, and then the next time I wore it, I wore both these mattes and this gray shimmer, and then I think I paired it with some of my purple shadows. This is really pretty. I don't think I used the cream shade, but I could have used it to set my eyeshadow primer. I just didn't do that, but I'll swatch this for you because it's a smaller palette. I mean, you get some really, really pretty looks from this palette. I really enjoyed wearing this a lot. So gorgeous. It's not going anywhere. The formula was great. Much better than the matte that I'm working on from one of the Petite Pros. Golden. The next small palette that we had was the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. So it's this one here. And this is a very old palette, but here are the shades. I really loved this too. I thoroughly enjoyed the 2 looks that I did with this. I think I didn't use every shadow in this palette. I didn't use the cream, and I did not use, these 2 shades, but I think I used everything else, and I really enjoyed the looks that I got from this. It's a cool leaning neutral palette, and other than these 2, which are a bit warm leaning, but I thought this was really pretty. If you use a glitter glue as a base for the shadows, there's really, even like this classic shade here, you don't need a glitter glue for that. It performs so beautifully. And the mattes really did nicely building on themselves. I really enjoyed it. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. So those are just 4 of the shades. Really pretty. I really, really loved this. So it's not going anywhere either. Okay, now let's get into the larger palettes. Now, let me go to this one because I do have a declutter. And as you can probably imagine, it's not going to be a Pat McGrath, but the Lorac Mega Pro 4. I used this one time and I hated everything about it. That's such a strong statement, but I did not like it. I am commending Andrea over at Pretty as a Peacock for panning this as her, like, pan that palette, because oh my gosh, wow, it's not, the shadows are just, they muddy. So let me show you with you the shadows that I did use. So I think I used butterscotch. I used butterscotch and mocha and blackberry and mahogany. And it just turned into like this, just like it muddied mess. And the lid shadows were even worse. So I used Misty Mauve and this one here, which is Lotus. And I think I may have even used Vamp, excuse me, right here. Like I can't remember now, but I'm kind of like blocking it. Or I may have used Plum. I don't remember. I'm blocking it on my brain. It was so bad. I had to top the lids with my Inglot like pigment because it was so bad. I have too many palettes that are performing beautifully to deal with this. So I'm going to gift this to probably my niece. She may enjoy this. I did not. My niece or my sister. We'll see which one liked them. But I did not like this. So it's leaving my collection. A lot of shadows leaving my collection. Okay, now let's move on to happier things. Okay, let's go to the Pat McGrath Mothership 2 Sublime palette. This one here. Now this palette, the first time I used it, I liked the look. And then I tried to do something different, like a different look with it, and I struggled. And I went and watched an old Mel Thompson video because, you know, she loved her Pat McGrath and she always did beautiful tutorials with palettes, Pat McGrath palettes. And I wanted to watch, you know, I wanted to support her channel while she's no longer here so that her channel still stays relevant, you know. So anyway, I went and watched her review of this palette. And what she said in that video, which I will link in the cards, is that this is much more of a companion palette. And I 100% agree. So here is the palette. It's beautiful. I mean, there are some really great shadows in here. Like even I'll be honest, I even used the black. I feel like the light on this side is not very good. I'm sorry. Or on this side, it's not very good. So this green here, which is Blitz Emerald, I believe. Yeah, Blitz Emerald. Gorgeous. It is stunning. Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful shadow. If you put it over a glitter glue, bomb. And, you know, this VR Nectar is gorgeous. And if I think I wore this. I tried this in a look and I didn't end up liking the look, so I took it off. But this is a really beautiful shadow too. The cats are chasing now. But, and I'll say this. I think I even used like this satin shadow in the crease and it was really pretty. The mattes are really nice. Now, the interesting thing is I don't love this shadow here, which is Skin Show Glow. And I think I'm just using it. I think I'm expecting more out of it. And I think it would be a great base shadow. Throw some glitter glue on top of it. And then throw one of these like special shadows on top of it. I didn't get to play with it that way. But we're going to try that. And maybe even not necessarily need to do a glitter glue on top of it. But use a wet brush, which I may try both. I'm into a playing mood. So I feel like you get a similar effect. So that's on its own, but I feel like it does pop more with a base, and it seems to pop more with the glitter glue than it does with just getting it wet. So anyway, do you need that as a base? No, but you know, I didn't really love that shadow. Let me try it over just a glitter glue and see what it does. Because maybe I just didn't use it the right way, you know? Yeah, it just doesn't wow me. That shadow does not wow me. So I may have to watch some more tutorials to see how other people have used it. And maybe that's more of like a matte look that I don't really do. So that shadow to me is a dud, to be honest. The rest of these are nice. I haven't really played around too much with this last one here, which is right here. Wait, no, this one up here. This one here, which is Astral Ghost Orchid. But I feel like once you start like putting too many of these on top of each other, it just does not look pretty. Like you can't do, I didn't like the special shadows on top of the special shadows. I think they're really only great to go, you know, on top of satins or something like that. Or metallics potentially to add a little bit of oomph. But yeah, see that is, I just don't, again, that, I mean, it's cool, but I haven't quite found the right way to use that one. So I was really close. I was like, maybe I should declutter this, but I decided that I would use that as a complement palette with some of these other shadows that I really did enjoy versus decluttering it just because there's a couple of shadows I don't love. So I don't necessarily think that I would recommend that palette as a purchase. If anybody who was considering purchasing it, I don't think it's worth it for the special shadows that are in there, but I'm not going to declutter it. And again, maybe my goal with this one is to watch more like videos of people who have used it and how they've used it, just to see kind of what looks they've come up with, and maybe I'll be inspired to try different ways to use this. Now the last one is the Pat McGrath Mothership 3 Subversive, and this is gorgeous. I did not have any problems with this one. I loved it. Now here is what this one looks like. So I actually did end up using the black in this one. And this shadow here, right? Oh, it is stunning. That shadow is Blitz Amethyst, of course. It's gorgeous. Beautiful on the eyes. This gray here, gray metallic, is really beautiful too. That one is Black Metal. This one, stunning. I don't like it that they don't have names on the palettes. Oh, I'm sorry. The purple was Night Creature. The special shade is Blitz Amethyst. Those were just so pretty together on the eye. I think I used all but like even this gold is really pretty. Well, not the bright gold, but not this crazy gold here. I didn't use that one. But the simple, not gold, but peachy shade, that's a really pretty shadow too, as you can see here. It turned out, like once you put it over a tacky base, it's really gorgeous. So I thoroughly enjoyed this palette. I think you can use it on its own. It's a great complement to other palettes or shadows that you may be working on, especially like purple toned. And this was the first Pat McGrath palette that I purchased, and I knew that I'd love it based on the color story. It's so pretty. So love this one. So we have one palette that is leaving and one that I was kind of, I can make it work. The rest I loved. Okay. So now let me take these swatches off and we're going to pick 4 new, oh wait, before I do that, let me go into the single shadows that I used, because I did use some singles. So I actually have this one on my eyes today. This is Colourpop Supershock Shadow in Arrow. And this is really pretty. I just have this on the very like outer part of my lid. It's gorgeous. Really nice copper shade. I don't really wear these types of shades all over my lid, but it was a nice shadow for kind of the outer part of my eye lid. Really pretty. And then I think that's the only like pot shadow that I used this past month. Yeah, that was only pot shadow. The rest, I used 5 other shadows. So one of them is actually a highlighter that I now use as a shadow. And it is by Love Lux Beauty in the shade Fantasy. So I think I use this just in my inner corner. And, you know, it's a bit flaky, but it's blinding. But it did what I needed to do in the inner corner, and it's fine. I don't find a need to get rid of it for any reason. I used this one actually mixed with Amhara yesterday, and to kind of tone down the orange. This is MAC Girly. So it's a bit of a satin shadow, but I did like it mixed with another matte. And, you know, it's a great pink to kind of help tone down that bright orange factor that you find in Amhara. So it was great for that. I did enjoy it. I really do like mixing shadows together. I have by Sydney Grace the shade Haven. This is beautiful. I think I used this in a purple look. Oh, it's so pretty. Pigmented, easy to blend. Really nice. Love that. I love Sydney Grace shadows. I need to get on the ball during their like Christmas in July sale because I missed it this year. Missed out. I didn't think about it. Next up we have MAC Pigment in Grape. And I think I used this in the outer corner when I was doing a purple look, like the outer lid, I should say. Not outer corner, but outer lid. And this is really nice too. It's really great over a tacky base. And then the last shadow I used was this one is by NYX. It's Girl Talk. This is stunning. And I think I use this in my inner corner as well. There's the shadow. Beautiful shadow. Beautiful. Much better over a tacky base, and then my inner corner, it was popping. Yeah, really pretty. Loved that. Hi, Sixter. What are you doing down there? Your toys are up there. You don't want to hang out with Milo? Okay, so I was able to use 5 shadows, and I think I may have accidentally had like 16 in here in this project, so I may select one fewer. We'll see. So when I get to picking new eyeshadow singles, I will show you the eyeshadows I still have in the project to play with. But now we're going to pick new palettes. Very exciting. Okay, let me grab my iPad and pull up Wheel of Names. You know what I find so interesting is I have so many Colourpop palettes and no Colourpop palettes have been chosen for this project or this challenge or my Pan in Every palette. Like, it's bizarre. Okay, so let's pick our next 4 palettes and then I'll pick the 5th. Okay, here we go. So sorry for the glare. I just got a new screen cover for my iPad, so it's glary. Ooh, the Bobbi Brown Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. That's fun. The Tarte Tarteist Pro palette. That's the big one, I think. Could be wrong. Maybe it's the small one. Now I can't remember. Urban Decay Urban Spectrum eyeshadow palette. Okay. Okay, that's 3. Oh my god, finally a Colourpop palette. Finally. Truly, Madly, Deeply. It's a miracle. I have gone how many months in this project and in my Pan in Every palette, and this is the first time I've gotten a Colourpop palette. It's insane. Okay. Finally. And I have so many Colourpop palettes. Okay, so now let's pick the additional single shadows that I'm bringing in. So I am looking at what I have. I have 10 shadows, so I need to pull 5 more. So let's go to Wheel of Names and we will pull 5 more singles. And I'll pull these and the palettes out together. So MAC eyeshadow in Selena. NARS Dual Intensity eyeshadow in Himalaya. Himalaya? I don't know if I have that spelled right. Another Cleona shadow in Regal. Maybe if I press the button. Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Rapunzel. And I think I need one more. Kiko Milano Long Lasting Wet and Dry eyeshadow in shade number 200. Okay, so let me go pull those and the palettes and then pick the palette I want to work on, and I will be right back. Okie dokie. Okay, guys, I am back with my palettes and my shadows. Okay, I'm going to start with the Bobbi Brown Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette. So it's this one here. Look at how fun this one is. And here is what the palette looks like on the inside. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Let me swatch a couple of these. This is a purple tone palette, which I love. So I'm going to swatch a couple of these like purpley shades. And there's really only like 3 mattes in here, which is the brown, the black, and the white shade over here. There we go. This last shadow will probably need a bit more like a glitter glue or a tacky base to shine, I think. Yeah, it's not a super impactful shadow. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that is the Ultraviolet palette by Bobbi Brown. Okay, next up, I think I got this one next. It is the Tarteist Pro, and it's this larger palette here. And I think most people have seen this. So here is what the inside looks like. So this is the one palette that I have that has the most mattes. So all of these are mattes. And then this last row is the shimmers. So I'm just going to look at these shimmers first. That last one is super pretty. So that last one looks a little patchy. We'll see how it goes on the eye. You never know whenever you swatch it. It could be very different on the eyeballs. And those are some of the darker ones. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. All right, next up we got the Urban Decay Urban Spectrum palette, and I don't know what I was thinking. I'm actually working on this palette now. So it's this one here, and here is what this one looks now. It's a bit of a spoiler for the shade Junkie, but that's this is the shadow I'm working on in Paint in Every palette. And I don't think this has any mattes, but some of these blues are intriguing. And this other green up here is really pretty. And of course these purples are really nice too. Wow, look at that dark blue. But those are all really pretty. I do feel like I have to get through like a top layer of something. But once I do that, they're beautiful. They're a little crumbly, ain't gonna lie, but it's really pretty. That's why I haven't gotten rid of this thing. It's gorgeous. Okay, the next palette we have is the Colourpop Truly Madly Deeply palette. And this is what this one looks like. So there's some glitters in here that I don't know if I'm going to use, but we will see. They're kind of chunky. But it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes And then this one here is like a matte with a glitter. And then one, well, actually these two both look like mattes with glitter. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmer to satin to shimmer shades. And then those 3 glitters in the middle. I'm just going to, oh yeah, no, this glitter. I'm just going to swatch the glitters first. These look like a hot mess. Oh no. I won't be using these. I mean, they're, wow. I may try them. I don't know. I don't trust them on my eyeball. Now I have glitter all over my finger. I may end up just taking those out. I don't think I'm going to put them on my eye, but let me swatch a couple of these other shadows. There we go. That's a really pretty color story. Yay. But yeah, those glitters, they're really pretty. I just don't know what I would do with them if I'm not going to use them on my eyeball. So I may just chuck them because that is a hot mess. It's just all over the palette. All right, so that's Truly Madly Deeply. And then the palette that I chose, very exciting. I am bringing in the Natasha Denona Lila palette. This is so pretty. I have used this quite a bit. And I think this is a great like fall to winter palette. And there are 4 mattes. And the rest of them are, a form of shimmer. So I'll swatch the mattes first. So creamy. So good. So there are the mattes. Gorgeous. So pretty. Lordy. I love this palette so much. The shade here is so unique. So pretty. Happy. I'm happy. So that is the Lila palette. Very excited. And then we do have 5 singles to share. So let me share the not potted singles, but these are like an actual little compact thingies. The first one is by Kiko. It's their long lasting wet and dry use eyeshadow in the shade number 200. So it comes in this packaging here, and here is the shade. This is so pretty. Beautiful. And then we have by NARS, we have the Dual Intensity Eyeshadow in Himalaya, I think. So it's the shade here. It's beautiful. Great, cool taupe shade. Ooh. And then from MAC, we have the shade Selena. This looks like it's kind of underwhelming, but I just need to get a brush in here. I find that a lot of times with MAC shadows, sometimes you just need to get a brush in there and play around. But that's actually it. It's a pretty shade. It's developed like a little bit of hard pan, so I need to scrub it up, get a spoolie to it or something. Anyway, yeah, I'll work on that. And then we have the Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Rapunzel. And this looks like it would be nice in the inner corner. Is that a matte? I don't think that's a matte. I don't know. I think it it looks like a matte, but I'm pretty sure it's a satin. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about that one. And last but not least, for sure, the star of the show, Cleona in Regal. Let's see if I can get it to show its shiftiness. Beautiful. And then the eyeshadows that I still have that I'm working on, which I forgot to show. I still have Colourpop in Catnip, which is this one here. I don't know if I swatched this one before. It's okay. And then we have Natasha Denona Cream. What is this one? Like the duochrome top coat in brown mauve purple. And it's this one here. I do need to take some Duraline to this, but it's basically more of like a topper shade. And it's kind of hard to see, but you can, yeah, it needs Duraline because it's kind of dried out at this point, but it's a really beautiful like topper. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I need to mix some Duraline in there. What's up, Marls? We have the Luxie eyeshadow in Banshee. Gorgeous. We have MAC pigment in Pinked Mauve. What are y'all doing? Are y'all bugging Milo? Leave him alone. Oh, pretty. Pinked Mauve. And the Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Prom Night. That one's a nice, pretty taupe. It's prettier than I thought it was. We have Cleona in Translucency. Jeez, jeez. Colourpop in Ready or Yacht. Makeup Geek Starry Eyed. Oh, that one is gorgeous. Very simple. Colourpop On the Fence. That one could be really pretty under glitter glue, or it could be kind of lackluster. We'll see. And lastly, we have by MAC Swish. And those are the singles that I'm working on. Makeup playtime. I was so excited for this video because I'm ready to work on new palettes. And yay. New palettes are here. I'm so excited we finally got a Colourpop one. Like, I have so many Colourpop and I'm just now getting one. So anyway, that is my update for this month for the hashtag 365 days of eyeshadows. Ooh, before I forget. I did use, last month, I used 40 eyeshadows out of the palettes that I pulled last month, as well as the singles. I forgot to mention that during my update as I was reviewing the palettes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see y'all next time. Bye! Ziggy, he's playing with your toy. Look at how pretty he is. We're gonna sit in your bed. Ziggy, it's here. Come here. Here he comes. His little beaties. Hey guys, it's Jaylon. Welcome back. Welcome back. Pat McGrath, Mothership. I don't know how to show these. This is so hard to show because of the way that they don't open all the way. Oh my gosh, look at my finger. It's got, can you guys see the glitter everywhere? I shouldn't have swatched the glitter. I can't get it off my fingers. Bye.